Alright guys, welcome back to Sloop's Garage. It's Friday, about to head to work. As you can see, something's missing from the driveway. Not sure if you've really been paying attention in other videos. I have a Tundra, the wife has a Tacoma, and we had a Sequoia. We no longer needed it because I bought the Tundra, but I didn't want to trade it in and lose money. So today we bought another vehicle, just a beater, something cheap, reliable, something that'll get good fuel economy. We could take the kids around in it to sporting events and whatnot, not worry about it too much. So let's introduce you to it. Here it is. It is a 2010 Toyota Corolla. It is the S model, which I believe is for sport. So we'll walk around the exterior, show it to you. It's got a few issues here and there, but it was cheap. It was under $3,000. Bumper covers falling off. The clips are still there. I'm going to try to maybe panel bond that. I'm not sure if you can see that, but it's folded down. That's why it's not locking in anymore. So I'll try to panel bond that back. That way we can try to pop it in. The headlights are a little scuzzy. CARFAX did show there was an accident previously on this side. I crawled up under there. There's no frame damage or anything behind the bumper cover that's damaged. This side popped out again. At the dealership I was able to get it locked in like that, but it obviously popped back out. There are some zip ties holding it on. So we'll go through and try to clean that stuff up as best we can. Brakes. The brakes are good. They work really well. There's not even a ridge that I can catch with my fingernail. So I think we'll be good on the brakes. But the exterior is really not in bad condition. The rear end was hit as well. You can see a little spider web of the paint there. That's no big deal, you know. This was popped out at the dealership. I was able to pop it back in. It held on the way home. So the rear end, other than that one side, looks really good. So overall, it's not a bad car. It has 125,000 miles on it. It does have keyless entry, all that good stuff you would want. So let's get into it. We'll take a look at the inside. It's pretty gross on the inside. That's another reason why we were able to get it so cheap. Somebody religiously smoked in this thing. There's ashes everywhere. The center console is pretty gross. It's got a weird smell to it. It really doesn't smell like cigarettes, surprisingly. Back seats equally as disgusting. The floors are gross, but overall everything's there. There are a few burn holes. There's one over there, right there. The headliner's in good shape, but go ahead and get in here, start it up. As you can see, 125,000 miles, about to be 126, but it fires right up. Drove it all the way home. The maintenance required light is on. It does need an oil change. I believe this was a rental vehicle at one point, as it has the no smoking sign, which you typically find in rentals. It did not even come with the manuals or any kind of paperwork. I'm assuming that's probably the last time the oil was changed. I'm not really sure though. So as you see, the interior is gross. We'll walk you through the process, not today, but in another video. I'll go ahead and show you under the seat covers. The seats aren't really bad at all. They'll need to be cleaned up, but I plan on showing that progress as we go. We'll vacuum it out in another video. Yeah, I'll do the full cleanup on it. Let's take a look under the hood. So it is equally as gross as the rest of it. I don't believe it was in a flood or anything. This car spent a little bit of time in Canada, has a really weird history, and we'll go over that in the CARFAX when I show that to you. But it runs real good, no smoke, no excessive noise, no leaks that I could find. No smoke. It's just a solid little car. It's gonna get us from point A to point B, and nothing more, nothing less. We'll pop the trunk, see what we got in there. It's dirty. This car obviously spent some time sitting under some trees. It was a lot dirtier when I looked at it initially. The dealership rinsed it off for us. I asked them not to. I kind of wanted to document everything, but no big deal. It's still dirty enough. But we do still have the original spare, the jack, everything's still here. So overall, not a bad shape or a bad car. So let's go for a drive and we'll see how it does. So we're driving the car now. As you can see, it does have the maintenance required light on. That's probably just an oil change. The radio, for some reason, does not pick up a channel. Everything works, heat, AC, all the lights work. Dealership went ahead and put a full tank of gas in it for us. But I mean, I'm going, as you can see, almost 60 miles an hour. I've got no shimmy in the wheel. So this thing does great. I can even let go of the wheel and it tracks straight. There's no shimmies, there's nothing. So get it up to about 65 here. That's the speed limit. No shimmies, no shakes, no excessive noise. When I do accelerate, the catalytic converter, I think the core has either come loose in it, or I got a heat shield rattling under there. But we'll try to figure out what that is and fix it. If it's a cat, I'll probably cut it out, remove the core that's loose, and load it back up. Unless I could find a whole cat somewhere for pretty decent price. But yeah, this is it. Runs and drives great. 125,000 miles. So we'll get back to the house and we'll wrap up the video. Alright, I'm almost home, still on my way. I just wanted to see if you guys can possibly pick up the rattling noise from the exhaust that I'm hearing when I give it some gas. Oh, now it's not doing it. There it is. Oh, you can hear that. It sounds very similar to when the catalytic converter, I had a 2009 Toyota Tacoma 4-cylinder, and the catalytic converter core had come loose, and it made that same exact rattle noise. At times it would spin and actually block the exhaust to where the truck ran really poorly. So we're back to the house. As you see, it ran and drove well. I'll take you inside now. That way we can go over the CARFAX and see why I was able to get this vehicle so cheap. Alright guys, we're up in the garage here. We'll go over the CARFAX real quick. So I got the back of my phone case here, just blocking out the VIN number. You see 2010 Toyota Corolla. Got the old caution here. Branded title exceeds mechanical limits. We'll go over that here shortly. No accidents reported. Damage reported. Potential odometer rollback indicated. That goes along with the branded title. 2 previous owners, at least 1 open recall. So the second owner is the one that had the problem found with the not actual mileage exceeds mechanical limits. That is a digital cluster. I'm not really sure if there's a way to roll those back or not, but looking at the actual history of the vehicle, I believe there was just a mistake. So everything else is good here. There is a recall reported. We'll get into that. But originally bought in 2010. Vehicle serviced, blah, 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 blah. Now this vehicle was originally sold here in Arkansas. At some point in its life in 2012, the damage was reported to the front left. That's probably why that headlight looks better than the other side. No big deal. Like I said, I crawled up under there, looked at it. I didn't see any issues. It was sold shortly thereafter as a certified dealer. Offered for sale as a Toyota certified pre-owned vehicle. So if there was actual structural damage, I don't think it could be sold. There was no reports of the airbag going off. So owner number 2 purchased it in Arkansas as well. At some point in its life, here in 2017, it ended up, well, first in 16, it ended up in Helena, Montana with 97,000 miles. Shortly thereafter, it ended up in Ontario, and it was registered in Ontario with 101,000 miles. So this is where we get into the odometer issue. So at 101,000 miles, no issues yet. The very next time the vehicle was serviced, you can see the odometer. This is the continuation of the bottom of this page here. The vehicle was registered in Ontario. Vehicle previously registered in Montana. This is all under the same owner. So in Ontario, it was reported to have 162,000 kilometers. The vehicle was then serviced somewhere in Ontario, and I believe what they did is instead of putting a 6 here for kilometers, they put a 0, which then led for it to have 64,000 miles reported. So that's where the potential odometer rollback happened. Next reported service was 65,000 miles. Next was 66,000 miles. 66,000 miles again. Registered again as a personal vehicle. No miles reported. But then down here, odometer reported is 111. I believe that probably should have been 171. So again, we're showing 68,000 miles. But here, when they re-register it, it shows the correct kilometers, which then shows the correct miles. Now, if you can see, that's a 3-month span. I'm not saying there's no way that those types of kilometers, those types of miles could be put on a vehicle. I mean, we're talking almost 50,000 miles here. It's far-fetched for me to see 50,000 miles put on a vehicle in 3 months. But comes back to Arkansas and shows 120,000 miles. And then registration updated when owner moved. Vehicle to a new location, vehicle color noted as blue. And that is the last history. So at 120,000 miles, they re-registered it in Arkansas, and now I have it at 125,000 miles. So I don't think the actual odometer was ever rolled back. I think it was just a mistake at a service department where they fat-fingered numbers or didn't put them in right. So I think we got a good deal here. Like I said, it was under $3,000. Solid little car, needs some love. We'll give it to it, and then we'll go from there. So follow along. We'll detail it out, change the oil, get it ready to go, get on the road, and become a daily driver. So thanks for tuning in. We'll talk to you guys next time. Like, share, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Bye.